Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you are getting pumped up about the season. Pitchers and catchers is about 5 weeks away. So we got a lot of stuff to cover and we got a lot of good stuff to look forward to. I know I'm excited. I know David Stearns, he made his rounds yesterday. He spoke to John Heyman, Joe Sherman. He did a bunch of interviews. And I like what I heard from David Stearns. Quite honestly, I did. So we're going to get into that. We're also going to get into some media coverage, how the Mets are being perceived in the media and how that is being transferred to us, the fans. And honestly, they're looking for a reaction from us. And quite honestly, I believe we're being kind of played. All right, we're going to get into that as well. But first, if you could like and subscribe, because on this channel, we love our Mets, we love our baseball. So if that's for you, like and subscribe. Okay. All right. So David Stearns. David Stearns had a couple choice things to say yesterday. Number one topic that he brought up, he was asked, what's going on with Pete Alonso? Is he going to be here for the duration of the 2024 season? So he first started off by saying he will be our opening day first baseman. Then Joe Sherman responded and said, well, are you going to trade him at the trade deadline? David Stearns responded, trade deadline's a long ways away. I don't know what's going to go on between now and then. Joe Sherman automatically responds, so you're not saying Pete Alonso's going to be here for the whole 2024 season? And and Stearns just smirked. So I don't know if it was an incorrect answer, but I found that interesting. Okay, then they went on, and this is what when I'm talking about media coverage, there's been a big kind of like, I don't want to say controversy, but it was all over the New York news yesterday about Andy Martino stating that the Mets only have $10 million left in their budget. Is that true? I don't think so. And how would Andy Martino know? Okay, so we went over this last night in our live stream, but I still think there's more to cover here. Andy Martino is not in Mets front office. He doesn't have that connection with Steve Cohen like he did with the Wilpons. So is it? And I always feel like Martino is trying to make it seem like the Wilpons and Steve Cohen are on similar playing fields. They're not. Steve Cohen is the richest man in baseball. Steve Cohen had the highest payroll last year, going to have the highest payroll this year. So they are in different stratosphere. So Martino knows that the Achilles heel of the Mets fan base is if you talk about how little money left the Mets have to spend. So, of course, he kind of said 2 nights ago that the Mets only have $10 million left to spend, which he knew would irk the Mets fan base. Because two reasons why it would irk the Mets fan base. Number one, having money is supposed to be our number one strength, having money and resource. Number two, it's not true. It's not true. And Andy Martino knows it's not true. So I know he hedged his bet afterwards, but why even come out with a statement? A ridiculous statement. That, I feel like they're just playing with us. They are playing with the emotion of us Met fans, really. And I know they do it in other markets, and the media does this all the time. But it is just ridiculous. And they're allowed to get away with saying stuff that's not true over and over and over. And I feel like these days that it's almost encouraged. Yeah, Andy Martino, say something. Incense the Mets fan base. It'll be all over the radio, all over the newspaper. We'll get attention. You'll get attention. You'll get clicks. It'll be a good thing. So I feel that it is ridiculous. It is really ridiculous. I mean, even so much to say, everybody's been talking about Salaka. Now, Salakata of WFAN, I haven't really listened to in the last couple of months. I really haven't. I mean, I've been more or less busy. I would listen, but Salakata has been a guy who has said things that people have perceived to be ridiculous because they don't know where Licata's sources are. The most recent thing he said was that Pete Alonso has a preference to play with other organizations. I know one of the organizations being the Chicago Cubs. So we don't know if that's substantiated, but again, Salakata is saying something that he knows will get a reaction from the fan base. I don't know if he's pretending to have some secret knowledge or have a secret source, but again, it's ridiculous. It's actually, a bigger ridiculous, more ridiculous than what Andy Martino says. But again, it's another guy in the media teasing and playing with the fan base just so he gets attention. It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So I mean, that's my opinion. Drop a comment. I'm interested to know what you think. Is the media just playing with us? Are they intentionally writing stuff that's negative or that they know has a strong possibility of not being correct? Because that's what I hear. And also too, another thing that I hear with the Mets, and particularly since Steve Cohen has owned the team, and I know this. I'm outside New York right now, so I'm observing it. But there is a lot of animus towards New York. Really, it just really feels like every analyst and people around the country really want to poke fun at the New York Mets. Oh, I thought you guys were the richest team. You're not getting every free agent. You're not, and I feel it's ridiculous because you can't get every free agent. You're not going to always get anyone you want. The player has to want to play with you, number one. And second of all, Steve Cohen is not going to spend $20 billion on payroll. It's just that I feel like every person, and I know Salaka has said this and other people have said this. Oh, you have Steve Cohen. You can't get that guy? You should be able to get every single guy. And that is just ridiculous. First of all, every guy's not the right fit. Second of all, every guy's not going to want to come there. So again, this type of logic is supposed to tease the fans and to get the fans all riled up and to get these guys' attention. And again, I feel it's ridiculous. If that's the way that you need to be successful, to just basically, kind of belittle people and just because we're not stupid. We know exactly what is a realistic. We know the Mets can't sign everybody. We know everybody's not going to want to come to the Mets. We know that this is a business, that the Mets really, at the end of the day, have to win. And for them to win, they're going to generate money. And, Cohen can't keep losing money. This is eventually going to have to turn a profit. The Mets are eventually going to have to take care of themselves. Cohen can't supplement the Mets' losses in the future. He can't. That's not the way he operates. It's not. Will he supplement and put hundreds of millions of dollars just so we can get going, so we can get started? He said he would. He said this will be a losing venture until the team could sustain themselves, until we can build a farm system, until the farm system comes up and we develop that farm system. Because that's the way it's going to be successful. And that's where we get into the second comment David Stern says. David Stern says, for us to be successful, we have to start assimilating our young talent on our major league roster. What that means is we have to find out if our guys in the minor league, let's just say guys like Blade Tidwell, Mike Vassell, these are pitchers down in the minor leagues, can they come up and be successful? If they can, if they could, let's say we have a number 3 starter in Mike Vassell. Okay, we don't have to spend $20 million on a free agent. We don't, or if the guys could be a number 2 or possibly an ace, then we don't got to spend $40 million. So it's very important to find out what young talent you have. So you don't have to waste the money in free agency. Then you supplement that young talent with already an existing core. That core being Alonso, McNeil, everybody knows, Nimmo, Senga, Diaz, Lindor. Okay, you build upon that core. Alvarez is a young guy. He showed a lot of potential last year. Hopefully, he continued to grow. Okay, so that's another thing David Stern said. Just want to make sure I have everything. Okay. And then the last thing he said is they asked him, are you happy with your current free agent signings? Are you happy with this direction? And he basically said, we had option A, B, C, and D. We had all these directions. So we picked a direction. And this direction we picked when we signed Manaea, we signed Severino, we signed guys who have been successful in the past, and that if they tweak things, they could be successful in the future. Also, a guy like Severino, A guy like Mania. Mania has an option in his contract. These guys are going to be heavily motivated. Severino only has a 1-year contract. So if they want to make bank next year, they are going to have to perform. So not only have you acquired guys who have been talented in the past, so you acquired guys who were talented in the past, so they weren't as expensive. Then these guys are highly motivated to be successful. So that is something that he did say that he tried to do. Okay, before we end off, I just want to say again, I had an issue with one of my videos last week, and it turned out I put like a little snippet. Like I had one video, and I used a couple highlight reels in the video, so I probably had like maybe 6 or 7 minutes of highlights, but there were about 15 seconds of those highlights that I didn't realize had a copyright on them. Ever since then, I had like a bunch of issues. Now this week, I have comments that are being deleted on my channel. People are saying that comments are being deleted. Like I've said this on my live stream. I never delete comments. In the last year, I've deleted maybe 1 or 2. I can't remember. It was either 1 or 2 comments, and that was 9 months ago. So I've deleted nothing recently, and I don't even believe in deleting comments. Most everybody's respectful, and the people whose comments were deleted are great members of the channel that I would never even dream of deleting, because these people are the foundation of the community. So without you, I am nothing. Without you, this community is nothing. So you are everything. So please keep leaving the comments. We'll figure that out. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that I used that copyright. I deleted it. It was an accident. And it was something that it could have been used. It just can't be monetized. But for some reason, it just seemed to have messed up everything. And then, like, even the way my videos are being distributed right now, it just seemed like it's just not the same. So I'm gonna work through that and try to get like some answers, because the comment thing, and I got like 40 likes on one video that would just disappeared. 40 likes, a handful of comments. I just don't understand. So, I appreciate everybody who's liking the videos and commenting. I'm gonna fix that issue. We're all in this together. We're all Met fans. So, I do want to end off by saying I do have more optimism than what is put out there. I feel like there's a negative connotation that's associated with the Mets. The media is trying to put a lot of negativity around the Mets, a lot of negativity, and a lot of it I don't think is going to be accurate. And I kind of fell into some of that negativity, but at the end of the day, we have to see how the team performs. And then Stearns said that he will react accordingly, and Stearns will be heavily active. All right, so end of the video. Let's go Mets. I will speak to you very soon. Have a great day.